Hello and welcome to the Chapter 1 of the CompTIA Tech Plus Introduction course. What we're here to do is to get you prepared for the CompTIA Tech Plus. I am John Haskell. I'm over 20 years in the industry now. I'm starting to get a little on the old side. I have over 30 certifications, plenty of degrees. I love flying, snowboarding, and outdoors. I always like to tell you a little bit about me before we get moving on. Now you're here to learn about the Tech Plus. So what is the Tech Plus? It is one of the newest CompTIA certifications. It's the entry exam for those who want to get into IT or those who want to be a little more technical savvy when it comes to their job. It's not only for those who want to get into technology itself, because almost every job out there as of today requires you to have some kind of tech savviness to it. So this certification code is FC0U71. That is just the code that you need to do if you want to sign up for the exam itself. You will have up to 70 questions. Now, most of the time I see only about 60 questions on this exam, but you get up to 70. Now, they're all going to be multiple choice questions, A, B, C, D, which is awesome. They're not going to throw any scenario or lab questions at you on this exam. It's going to be 100% multiple choice. Now, the pass rate is going to be 650 out of 900. 650 out of 900 is about a 73% in order to pass. Now, once you get past there, you have 60 minutes to complete the certification. And what's really cool about this certification is, well, it is a lifetime certification. It's one of the only certifications that's still a lifetime cert. So once you get this one time, you do not need to renew it or take it again. You will have it for life. Now, the exam itself is going to be split up into 6 different domains. These domains are going to entail IT concepts and terminology. IT has a lot of terminology and acronyms, so get to know them. That's 13% of the exam. You've got infrastructure, which is 24%, which is mostly identifying different pieces of the organization. What is a desktop? What is a laptop? What is a switch? What is a hub? What is a router? Stuff like that. Domain 3 is going to be all about applications and software, which is 18% of the exam. So if you look at domain 2 and 3, we're talking about the majority of the exam is going to be covering these 2 domains. We're going to then have software development concepts, some database fundamentals, and then lastly, one of my favorite locations, we're going to end on security. Now, we do want you to have some fundamental security aspects to when it comes to your job, whether or not you're going to become an IT or not. And so we're going to talk about that in those designated sections. Now, how do we use this course? Well, as always, read each chapter thoroughly. Make sure that you're engaging with the content and you're testing your knowledge. Now, we give you plenty of quizzes to test your knowledge, and then we also give you plenty of labs and drag and drop activities that will also help you when you are trying to prepare for this course. The other thing is do not binge. Try to pace yourself. I know that a lot of people can get this course done in about a 2-week period, but be aware that your brain's only going to absorb so much. So if you're finding a hard time concentrating or reading through material, it is time to take a break. Either go for a walk or put it down and come back to it tomorrow. All right, some of my exam tips. Know your objectives. So in chapter 1, I am going to make sure that you really know your objectives, mainly because how do you know what you're being tested on if you don't even know the categories you're being tested on? We're going to do lots of practice exams, so make sure that you're taking those practice tests throughout each section, and then make sure that you're understanding those questions and not just memorizing the answers. There's a lot of people out there that will get the false sense of security if they are just memorizing answers. So let's not do that. Let's try to understand the question and why the answer is what it is. Now, worry about your time management. We only have 60 minutes to complete this test, and we've got about 60 questions. That is 1 minute a question, okay? Now, that doesn't sound like a lot because it's not a lot. But I will let you know that there are a lot of questions on this exam that are only going to take you 10 to 15 seconds, while there are going to be other questions that may take you a bit longer. Just be aware that you do have some time restrictions here. And if you're struggling on a question, mark it for review and come back to it later. Understand the question types. Now, all the question types on this exam is multiple choice, so this one's pretty straightforward. And then plan your route. Now, we are trying to do our best for you on the Wyoming Cyber Range to give you the route that you need. We have already put out the route that you need, and it's been tried and true. We've already put it through other students' classes, and they were successful with this route. And we are improving upon our curriculum as we go along, so just keep in mind that as changes do roll out, that you'll see some new labs, new activities, and changes to the exam as time goes on. Now, on exam day, I always tell people read each question carefully. While there are no trick questions, CompTIA sometimes have some questions on there that's just pretty hard to follow. And so if you're having an issue, make sure that you're reading the question carefully. I like to read the answers first, read the question, and then read the answers again. Manage your time wisely. Again, you only have 60 minutes. Answer every question. It is a multiple choice exam, so please do not leave anything blank, even if you're unsure. Most of the time, you can get yourself down to 2 answers, and at least 50-50 is a much better chance than just giving yourself a 0 for that question. Now, there is a review feature in this exam, so if you want to review a question at the end of the exam, answer the question, mark it for review, and then at the end of the exam, it will say, hey, review all of your marked questions before you submit. This is a great way to make sure that, was I really thinking right, or do I need another chance to look at this question again? The process of elimination is wonderful because two of the answers normally are pretty easy to say those aren't the right ones, but I'm down to 2 answers. Which one is the correct one? And then, as always, although you're on a time crunch, make sure you're staying calm and focused. If you feel yourself getting frustrated, make sure you take a second off to the side, take a quick break, take a breather, and then get back to it. Remember, you only have 60 minutes. Now, CompTIA is very nice when it comes to bathroom breaks, so if you're taking this in person, make sure that if you are getting too flustered, to take a bathroom break. The bathroom break does help in that aspect. Now, review your answers if the time permits at the very end is definitely something you should take care of on the day of. And most importantly, before you show up, how about we get a good night's sleep? There's no point in doing last minute cramming because the last minute cramming is not going to do you any good. So get a good night's sleep. Let's eat appropriately. Make sure you have a good breakfast. Nothing too heavy that's going to make you sleepy, but something that's going to make you feel content. Arrive early. You don't want that added stress on there because you were arriving late. And then, as always, make sure that you're having a bit of fun with this, enjoy the process, and know that it's not the end of the world. If we need to take the test again, we can take the test again. Now, it can get a little pricey, and we understand that. Just make sure that you're not trying to stress yourself out as you're getting prepared for this exam. All right, so that is Chapter 1 here of the introduction to the CompTIA Tech Plus exam. As you're going through these materials, we will try to make sure you have a review for each section. Make sure you review each section's videos, podcasts, texts, everything and all the resources that are available to you. And be aware, it's okay if you need to go over things more than once. I'll see you for the next recording. Happy study.